my name is Taylor Wynn, and today we are going to demonstrate a mini lesson for you.
Hi, my name is Jessica Borges. Our mini lesson is going to convey how to effectively use a flow map to create a historical timeline.
Flow maps can be used in all content areas. For example, they can be used in English for sequencing main events.
They can also be used in math for order of operations or in science for the scientific method.
Essentially, the purpose of a flow map is to be able to place important details, facts, features of a story, or processes in chronological order or sequentially.
For this lesson, we'll be using a children's book, Booker T. Washington, by Thomas Amper. And this is a biography that we're going to use to create our timeline.
After you have read the book completely, it can be a good strategy to break the book down into smaller sections in order to begin your flow map. For example, this biography divides important events according to specific dates, beginning with Halesford, Virginia in 1863. It was early in the morning. The road through the woods was dark. 7-year-old Booker walked with Miss Ellen to school. He carried her books. When they got to the school, Miss Ellen went in. Booker went home. He was a slave. It was against the law for slaves to go to school. Booker lived on a farm in Virginia. As a slave, he had to do what his masters wanted. Miss Ellen was the master's daughter. Sometimes Booker carried her books. More often, he carried water to the men working in the fields. Booker wished he could go to school. He had watched the white boys and girls in school. He wanted to sit at a desk and bend over a book. He wanted to find the answers to a question and tell the whole class. He wanted to look at a sign or a newspaper and tell people what the black letters said. When Booker was 9 years old, a man came to the farm. The slaves were called to listen to him. Booker stood with his mother, his brother, and his sister. The man said that the Civil War was over. The slaves were now free. People began shouting with excitement. Booker's mother leaned down and kissed her children. She had prayed for this day, she said. Booker's family soon left the farm and moved to West Virginia. They were ready to start a new life of freedom.
From this first portion, students can process a smaller chunk of information and begin to fill in their flow map. In the first box, we pointed out that Booker was a slave for Miss Ellen in Halesford, Virginia, and also that he wasn't allowed to go to school. Therefore, we'll fill in our main idea box with the important date, location, and the relevant information that he was a slave, and then we'll put supporting information below it by listing that he was not allowed to go to school. Then, for the second box, we can talk about the fact that a man came to the farm he lived on announcing the end of the Civil War. To further that, we included that Booker's family was now free and that they moved to West Virginia to begin a new life of freedom.
This format would continue throughout the rest of the book until you have all of the important information detailed on the timeline. Depending upon scheduled time constraints, the teacher can choose to either model the first few boxes as we did, or they can complete the entire map together as a class, being sure to get students' ideas and input.
Once the timeline is complete, as in our example, students are free to create their own timelines. As we modeled the digital PowerPoint version, students can also do the same. There are other options though. If students wish, they can hand draw them. They can also insert pictures by either cutting them out of magazines or from printing them off the computer, or drawing their own pictures, or doing them digitally on a software like Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. For those that are a little technologically savvy, they can also import links or hyperlinks to videos in their digital versions. Timelines and other graphic organizers are extremely beneficial to all students, but especially for your ELLs. English language learners benefit from being able to have a visual representation of the content being taught that they either created as a class or created themselves, and it allows ELLs to have a better understanding of what was just taught to them.
Thank you for watching our mini lesson on the effective use of flow maps in the classroom. We hope you have enjoyed our lesson, and we hope you will continue to implement these strategies that you have seen today into your classroom in the future.
Bye.